Hey, it's David back from BreezeFlippers, back in my shipping room. Just got back from another trip. Our store's been on vacation again for several days. It's just kind of the way it's been the past few weeks. We've been gone here at Augusta. We were at the Masters to visit my daughter and grandson and son-in-law last weekend, and the weekend before we were at my daughter's at Tuscaloosa for her last play and for her graduation last weekend. It's just been insane. So lots of traveling, lots of busy work that we had to do, a lot of things that need to get done. So one of the things I'm going to talk about today is the struggles of being a part-time reseller when you're trying to make like full-time money. And you know, having a 40 to 50 hour a week job is a challenge, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that and show you. I'm just going to take you on a tour and show you some of the struggles and the things that we're having to do, and maybe talk a little bit about that and see if you can relate. Because if you're trying to do this part-time and you want to make really good money, it's going to take a lot of effort. If you're trying to do this full-time, you already know what it's like. So, but we're going to talk a little bit about what sold first, and we'll show. We had a few sales over the weekend and several that right before we left, so we'll talk about those. So let's get into it. First of all, to say wasn't a great week of sales. We did have a few sales over the weekend. Not going to complain. Overall, for the whole week, we did about $331 in sales. So not a huge payout, but I kind of know what needs to be fixed. I know what some of the things we need to do. One of it is, you know, we've been listing and relisting a lot of stuff. I just think we need to just kind of blow it up and put a bunch of stuff on. We're going to take you around the tour and give you a tour of the house and show you where all the stuff is right now that needs to be listed. I'm going to show you some of those struggles so that you kind of get an idea about what we go through and some of the challenges that we have. But first, let's talk about what sold. First thing that sold was a Keanu Bay Air Show from 2015. It's a hat. Picked this up at a yard sale, paid $1 for it. And it's, you know, it sat for a while. It didn't sell right away, but we ended up getting $8.24. It was on sale for 30% off. It was been in the store for a while, and it was $4.99 shipping. So that's going to heading up to, looks like, New Hyde Park, New York. So going up to New York. Next thing we sold, I didn't know if these would sell, to be honest with you. I saw comps for them and I thought, they will. I think I got this I bought a box of stuff that just had a bunch of random stuff in it, and there were a few things in there I remember selling a while back, but there was just 13 of these, and I thought, well, I mean, didn't take any time to take a picture of them and throw them up, but these are wooden dominoes, and they're older ones, and I think they're vintage wood embossed dominoes, and I'm not sure if they have a name on them or not, but they have a large crown, and there's 13 of them total in there, so they're not a complete set. But they've been in there for a while. Ended up selling them for $7.99. We'll get $4.99 shipping for that. So, and that's going up to California. So, gonna cost me $5 to send it. That's just the way it works. This is the last one of these that I have, and I wish now that I bought more, 20 or 30 of them, maybe more. But this little Masters cup cooler, we bought at the Masters. We paid $5 for them, and we were selling for $21.99 plus free shipping. That went out. This is the last one. I do have a couple of used ones. I may sell those for a little less. I think they'll probably still sell, but we'll see. Next time I go to Masters, I'm definitely going to buy more. The last thing that sold was, let's see here. Actually, did that sell today or yesterday? I think it sold yesterday. We sold a Janis Joplin. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I think it must have sold yesterday, so it wasn't in my timeline. But I'm going to still show it. We sold Janis Joplin. This is I think it's a 3-disc set. It's a hard case, metal case. And, well, you know, if my system would work right, this would be awesome. But I'll tell you what we got for it. Oh, here it is. We got $14.99 for it, and it goes out with free shipping, and this goes out medium mail, so it doesn't take too much to send. Oh, here it is, $14.99 free shipping. It was in front of me the whole time. Anyway, not a terrible week, I got to be honest with you, but not a great week either. Right before we left, we did sell a TENS unit. So this was a Ultimate 5 digital TENS unit, which with the battery charger, didn't have any pads included. We actually picked it up at a fill a bag sale for $5, and we literally filled a bag full of stuff. That was just like an unbelievable amount of stuff. I paid $20 that day because I got 4 bags. This was one of the things that was in the bag. I'd already made my money back because I sold a book a while back for $75. That was an airframe book for a F-15 fighter. and that went out, and I made my money back tenfold. But this one sold for $15, and we got $5.99 shipping. We also sold one more of these right before we left. That was the third one that we had sold out of the 4 that we bought. And again, that was $21.99 for the 2025 Masters Tournament cup holder. And then we also sold some sewing patterns. Now, interestingly enough, we sold 2 sets of sewing patterns. So yes, they do sell. I paid $1 for 2 or maybe 3 huge bags of sewing patterns. And it was just something I thought, well, we're gonna give it a try, right? So my daughter uses sewing patterns, so I figured the worst case scenario was because of the costume design work that she does, she may use it, who knows? So she took a look at them, pulled out the ones she wanted. The rest of them I put into 3 lots. And I sold one while back that was mostly costumes and such, but I sold one that was sewing patterns, a lot of 12, Simplicity, McCall's, and Vogue, Butterick, size 12 up. It was kind of a mixed bag of cut and uncut ones. And then we also sold, and we ended up getting, let's see, $11.99 for that. And we also sold a lot of 12 sewing patterns, the same kind of deal, for $11.99 as well. And so both of those went to the same person, and so we combined shipping and did pretty good on that. And the last thing that we sold, well, not the last thing, we also sold right before we left another comic, and that's a Marvel Comics Presents number 55 Wolverine versus Hulk 1990. It was near mint. It was in great shape. I'll pop all those up on the screen for you guys to see. But we ended up selling that for $6, and we got $5.99 shipping on it, so that went out. And then last but not least, we also sold a set of Hot Wheel Cars 25th Anniversary Collector's Edition 1993 Dream Car. It was a 5-pack set. Ended up getting $17.09. That went out free shipping, so didn't cost much to ship. I think it was just over $5. So ended up making my money on that one as well. I think we only paid a couple bucks for that. So we had a bunch of Hot Wheel cars and stuff that sold. So that was what went out. Like I said, not a huge week. If we look at our performance, you know, we're down for the quarter. We're down quite a bit for the quarter, down like 37%. But again, I'm not going to cover these numbers until the end of the month, and we're going to kind of look at it then. We were down overall for the year. We're up still about 7 or 8%. But honestly, that's not where we want to be. So we've got to get some work going on here. And I think I know what it is. You know, part of it is I believe that we need to just throw more listings up there. We're running about $150 to $200 a day in listings. And I have those set to automatically go up. So this weekend I did pop out a few more. I'm trying something different. I'm actually listing from my phone a little quicker, just throwing things in, trying to get stuff up and to get them going. Instead of sitting on a bunch of drafts. So taking pictures and doing that. Sherry's going to start taking some pictures and doing the same thing. But we'll go around the house here in a little bit, and I'm going to show you what stuff that we have. And again, we're going to talk a little bit about the struggles. There are a lot of struggles as a reseller, and as a part-time reseller especially. If you could see, I had to come home from the trip yesterday, had to mow the lawn, so that was 2 hours of work trying to get all that done. Get my lawn back to looking normal because it's been neglected for 3 weeks because I haven't been here. The pool, I don't even want to show you the pool. It just overnight turned green. Of course, we weren't here to monitor it and keep up on it, so it happens. So I'll get that cleared up. Got to get it pool ready. You know, it's not necessary that we always swim a lot in it, but I don't like a green pool because you don't know what's at the bottom. So it's Florida, you never know. Anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But I'm going to take you on a tour here in a few minutes and kind of show you around and show you some of the stuff that we've got going. And I also tell you that we do have some auctions coming up, a bunch of auctions. I actually created a calendar so I can keep up with the auctions. Tonight at, I believe it is 8 o'clock, I'm doing a comic auction, comics and collectibles. I got some collectibles we're going to throw in there as well. Some cool toys and different things that are pop culture comic related. So that's going to be tonight on Dibdit, DIBDIT.com. Use BreezeFlips, you get $5 off for your first purchase. Tomorrow night, I'm doing an auction with my friend Wes from the Slim Flippers. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Central Time. We're going to be selling media and video games. So just kind of all mix of stuff there. And then immediately after that auction, from 8 to 9, I'm doing a card auction, my very first one. So I'm going to be selling mostly Marvel. I got some sports cards in there as well. So I'm going to be doing that. And then on Saturday or Thursday, I believe again at 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, I have to look at my calendar, I'm doing another auction. But if you get on the first one and you follow me on there, you'll actually see when we're doing auctions. We've got a bunch coming up. We've got a whole bunch next week as well, all the way through the end of May. So, you know, that's the other way we're trying to make that income goal for this year. So, you know, get on there if you haven't yet, go check us out. And so let's go take a little tour and let me show you some of the stuff that's going on here. Okay, back in my office. It's time to show you what I was talking about before. So like I said, reselling for part-time resellers can be a struggle, right? So it depends on what you're doing. What kind of reseller are you trying to be? Are you trying to be just someone who's making, you know, a couple $100 a month? Are you trying to make a couple $100 a week? Are you trying to make $5,000 a month? I mean, what are you trying to do? What is your goal that you're trying to accomplish, right? So I think that's the first thing that you kind of have to determine. But for me, I want to do about 50,000 in a year. So if you kind of look at that, that's quite a bit a month. That's a lot a month, right? So, you know, we start looking at what we need to do. Some of that I'm going to have to do on eBay, and some of it I'm going to have to do on Dibdit and live auction sales. But being gone for 3 weeks, that's a struggle, right? And some of the things that we have to do to get caught up, it's like, not even, you know, talking about the around the house stuff. I mean, I had to mow the lawn last night. That was 2 hours. I still got to clean the pool. It somehow or another just flipped the switch and turned green while we were gone, which happens sometimes. Pool chemicals, that's all fun. So, you know, and I've got work I got to do in the back. I mean, there's stuff I got to do around the house. That's part of the job, right? So I'm working 40, 45, 50 hours a week on my regular job, and I'm trying to put in 20 hours a week or more in reselling. That's hard. So some of that, the reality is I'm going to have to hand off some stuff. I did that this week while I was gone. Actually paid our dog sitter to test some games for me because I don't like to sell any games that I haven't really tested. So she went through and tested all of my NES and Super NES games, and she was you know, able to go through and say, okay, these worked, these didn't work. So now I can either list them or I can sell them on Dibdit. Just kind of depends. So that's one of the things. Now, even though we've been gone, we've only been home a couple days every week. For the past 3 weeks, our sales, you know, they still have been going on. The store's been on, basically been on vacation mode, right? So but we, you know, when we were gone, when we were in Augusta, we did some sourcing. We did pretty good on sourcing, actually. So I'll show you some of the stuff we got while we're in Augusta, but this hasn't been listed yet. None of this stuff has been listed. So this is all the stuff that we bought in Augusta, all the games that she tested, loose Funkos, some more games down here that we purchased, some of those in the bag down there that we purchased. There's a ton of stuff. We've also got stuff that we haven't listed yet that we purchased at garage sales here locally about a month ago. These bags haven't been listed yet because they smelled like weed when we got them. So we've been going through the descenting process, and they now smell very, very good. I don't know what happened with those. Comics that I bought in Tuscaloosa just recently at basically an antique store, and these are all clothes that we haven't done. Not only that, if you go over here to this wonderful closet, which used to be my daughter's room, I still have games and clothes, more games, and just a ton of stuff that I got to list. So that's the struggle of being part-time. I mean, it's like you don't have enough time to do everything, so you have to start kind of figuring out what are the most important things to get done, right? So listing is what I think is probably the most important thing because that's where the biggest money comes from. That's where we make the most. If we can get more listings done on eBay, we will do a lot better. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Dibdit is great for moving inventory fast. It's great to move inventory. And that's what we're going to be doing with all of this stuff that's right here. So everything you see down here is media. And yes, this is our living room. This is why my wife goes nuts, because I have so much stuff everywhere. It just don't have a place for it. Our house is only 1,800 square feet and it's only 3 bedrooms. So I have a lot of stuff everywhere. And if you go over here to this little spot, I have more comics. So, and I'll show you the rest of the comics in the other room. Now, there are perks to reselling, and one of those things would be this right here. I was at a thrift store last year sometime. They just put it on the shelf. It was $5.99. It was complete in the box, and I grabbed it and realized it was Department 56. It was a Haunted Mansion Department 56. My wife collects all Haunted Mansion stuff, as you can see, and little spooky stuff and witches and stuff like that. It's just her that's what she likes. And picked it up. This thing sells for almost $300. She wouldn't let me sell it, so that's that's part of being a reseller, though. Sometimes she gets to choose and take the things that she wants. Now, this is stuff that I also picked up and still haven't sold. So again, more comic books I picked up at the antique store in Tuscaloosa. Actually did a batch the week before, and then this week I pulled through and pulled a bunch of comics out. Valued them out at, see, I paid $46 for this one and $65 for the other one, and I ended up the one I did 2 weeks ago valued out at $500. This one valued out about $490 fair market value. So also we did garage sales this weekend, picked up some cool little figures. I'll probably sell some of that on Dibdit as well. And this is from our comic book buyout. So we bought out a comic book store that was the rest of their stuff. Lots of trade paperbacks, some very old and different comics, unique, independents, all of this, and all of this is from that. Still haven't listed it. So that's, can't get to it. I also have some golf clubs I have to list. That's sitting down here. Yep, see, more stuff. I don't want to show you the pool, but you can see it in the background. That's not good. Anyway, I got some hats that I picked up this weekend in Tuscaloosa. Pretty good hats. This one's brand new. Actually still has a tag. So from Universal Studios. Tennessee, not a Tennessee fan. Anyway, TaylorMade, and then this thing, which is, I can't remember it's a Nike hat though. I think that's Fox, I can't remember. And then all this stuff back here, still gotta list it. Haven't got to it yet. Books, bags, more clothes, probably gonna go on Dibdit threads. Some of it's gonna go in our booth, and then more bags, more Legos. I can't get to my comic press. So listen, this is the struggle of being a part-time reseller. It's just life, all right? And we can't let it get us down, and you can only do one thing at a time. So my thing is that, you know, I'm gonna focus on, first of all, the quick things that I gotta do, which we make very quick money on Dibdit. So a lot of these comics that I have are not eBay comics, I would call them, right? I'd say they're more stuff that I would probably sell on Dibdit, because I know I can get $2 to $5 a comic on there. On eBay, I might get $5 or $6, but then, you know, people don't want to pay. It's a $5 comic. I can't really do that, because if the comic's only worth $5, it's hard to charge $5.99 shipping, or even if I said $10.99 with free shipping, most likely not going to sell it, right? So that's the struggle that you have to kind of go through. So I sort that stuff out, and I get that ready on Dibdit. So there's some stuff I have to do. I have a Dibdit auction tonight for comics, so I'm going to sort out a bunch of comics and get them ready so that they're ready to go, because I like to have a big variety of different things. But that's just some of it. Takes a lot. I'm also going to start selling cards. I want to show you this. Again, my messy closet. But if you take a look, all these are cards. I haven't started selling cards yet. I've been building up a collection. Mostly Marvel, some sports, but all of that stuff has to be sold, and that's going to get sold tomorrow night. We're going to start working on those on cards. So tomorrow night I'm going to do my first card auction. So yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on, but you can kind of see my whole office if you really want to see it. Here you go. These are all the comics that I have. Most of these are listed. Some of them aren't. The Secret Wars and those, all this on that row. These are all my personal comics. I do not plan on selling them. My action figures that I probably won't sell. This is where all the stuff happens for Dibdit auctions and for my listing. So you can kind of see, again, more comics. Oh, and the other room that I was in, the spare bedroom, all of those boxes were also comics. I have a few comics. And then you see all the comics that are on my shelf behind me. These are all the ones that you probably see on the video, and of course, more of my collection. And some of these are for sale, and some of these are not for sale. It's just kind of the way it goes. But I do have stuff I collect. You know, I do try to collect some things and keep some stuff. I didn't collect a lot as a younger guy, and this is new for me, so I'm having fun. But this is part of the struggle, right? Oh, while we're at it, you guys want to see, these are my partners in crime all day long. This is Ozzy. Ozzy sleeps all day. He's 15 years old. He's a Yorkie. He's a mess. He's kind of funny. And this is my ever-loving companion. This is my Aussie. This is Missy. And she just lays back here all day as well. So these are my companions. They hang out with me day in, day out. So, but listen, everybody has their own kind of struggle, I think. Everybody has something that they have to work through and try to figure out to run their business. You have to figure out what kind of reseller you want to be. Are you going to be part-time? You're going to, shoot for full-time eventually? I mean, my goal is to be full-time eventually. When I retire, I mean, I have a good job. I like what I do. I'm not ready to retire tomorrow. Some days I am, but most days I'm not. But, I just want to, I want to be able to have fun and build this business. And the goal is to actually get Sherry to retire. So she could retire, and a lot of the stuff she could do for me. And that gives me more time to do other stuff. And listen, I mean, this video takes time. It takes time to edit it, takes time to put everything together. I like to try to do a decent video. I try to do 2 a week. It might be a struggle. I may have to give and take on that. May have to start just doing 1 a week. Who knows? I'm not really, haven't decided yet. I kind of like doing 2 a week, but we'll see. I may change it up. I may do more of a podcast type video or, YouTube channel as well. I'm not really sure. So things are kind of in the air right now, but I do know that now that I'm back, I got to get some things done. I got to start getting some listings done. And, but that's, again, like, you figure out what you want to do. I'm figuring out what I want to do. I know what my goal is. I really need to get to that, 4,000 to 5,000 a month minimum, in sales, and be that from eBay or from DibDit. We'll get there. It's just a lot of work. So, listing things, I'm doing things a little differently. Like I said earlier, I'm listing things now directly from my phone. Usually I go to the computer, I create drafts, I do all this stuff. Now I'm doing this a little bit more methodical and just going through. I'm not being as, clean on the listings. I had put a lot more information in there. I do use ChatGPT still. I'll take a picture of something, it'll list it out. I can drop it in quickly. I can do a listing in about a minute with ChatGPT. And I've showed you guys a little bit of how that works. So on the phone, very easy. Just cut, paste, and drop it in, and then move through. And I typically will still put it into draft mode and just run through and check it and then drop it in, because sometimes, let's be honest, in the app, eBay needs to do a better job at making the details a little easier to get to, because it's really hard. You got to click through a link. Like, I can't even get to the custom SKU. You have to do 2 clicks to get into the custom SKU. The custom SKU should be the first thing on the first screen. If that was there, then it'd make it a lot easier, and you could just go through and click, 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 and put stuff in there and make it easy. But sometimes that's a little easier from the computer. So, but I can batch, 15, 20 of them. I sat down last night and dropped 25 listings, I think, in about an hour and a half, while I was sitting out watching TV because I was tired. It was a long day. Mowed the grass, drove home 4.5 hours from Tuscaloosa. It was just a long day. So anyway, so that's about, what's going on. That's some of the struggles, so the things that we're trying to do. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. What are the struggles you have? Part-time reseller, full-time reseller? Tell me about it. I'd like to hear some of it. Do you have an easy way of doing something? Talk about it. Let's get that out there, because that's all about what I'm trying to do. This is kind of a vlog style today. I'm sharing some of my struggles with you guys. I'm sharing some of the stuff that I go through. I'd like to hear what you guys go through. So leave your comments below, and let's talk about it. So I hope you have a great week. I hope your selling week is great. I'm hoping my selling week picks up. So we're gonna do some stuff to make it happen. We are having an auction tonight at 8 p.m. Central Time. Dibdit, DIBDIT.com. Use BreezeFlippers. You can get $5 off your first purchase. Listen, come check us out. Even if you don't buy anything, just come check us out and let us know how you found us. We'd love to hear from you. So I'm David Beckham, BreezeFlippers. We'll see ya.